So today we are here talking with Dr. Ashu Goyle, who I am lucky enough to be married to. And we're here because we want to learn a little bit more about him and why he chose to become a physician. So, Dr. Goyle?
I took a kind of a convoluted path to get into medicine. My original passion was music. So I fell in love with guitar, specifically rock guitar. And I had this insatiable urge to learn how to play the guitar. So I was able to talk my mom and dad into getting a guitar, and then I became a self-taught musician. So all through high school, I played in rock bands, wrote songs, got to college, and had no direction at the time. I was into liberal arts and just kind of being a free spirit. And after my first year, I decided to do something different. So I had Indian parents, and all they knew were their kids should either be doctors or engineers, right? So there was always this push towards medicine. And I volunteered at a hospital, my local hospital. And so when I went into interview for the position, they said, "Oh, I see that you play guitar and you're a musician. Well, we have an opening for inpatient music therapy. If you want to come and volunteer and play guitar for our inpatients, we have a piano player who normally does that who's not available." I said, "Sure, I'll do that." Like, I just bring my guitar and play? I said, "Sure." So that's what I started to do, and patients loved it, and I loved it. I was like, "This is great. I play my guitar, and I have an audience who actually really appreciates this, and it's offering them some reprieve from their existence inside a hospital, which can be a very dismal place to be." Well, here's where it gets interesting. So on my way out one day, I heard this guy say, "Hey man, what do you got there? Is that a guitar?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What kind?" I'm like, "Well, you can take a look at it." He opened up the guitar case, took out the guitar, and started playing it. And it was a Seagull guitar. He's like, "Man, this guitar is great." I'm like, "Wow, you're a really good guitar player." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What are you doing here?" I told him my story. I'm here volunteering, playing music for patients and inpatients. And he said, "Well, hey, if you want to volunteer in the ER, I'm the medical director of the ER. You should come and hang out." And then my brain just blew up. It's like a physician who plays guitar, that was unheard of in my world. I just didn't know that the two could coexist. And so that opened up my path into medicine. So I volunteered in the ER, decided I wanted to be pre-med. So I took all my pre-med classes and got into medical school.
Now, where did you go to medical school?
I went to medical school at Ohio University. So I grew up in a small town called Marietta, Ohio. And it was close to home and just in a beautiful part of the country. And I just felt very comfortable there. So I did my undergrad there for college and then decided to stay on and go to medical school there. Then after that, I went to the Cleveland Clinic. I found my passion for anesthesia and also interventional spine and pain management. I felt like this is a field where I can actually make a difference in people's lives.
And what made you choose the Cleveland Clinic to do your fellowship, your residency and fellowship?
Yeah, well, Cleveland Clinic is one of the top-ranked hospitals in the world, and they had an excellent anesthesia program and one of the top-ranked pain programs in the country at the time. So it was a no-brainer for me. I was like, if I can get in, that's where I want to go. Plus, it was close to home, so it was nice to have the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio.
And then once you were done with your fellowship, then what brought you to Arizona where you are currently practicing?
Yeah, so after my fellowship at Cleveland Clinic, I did a year of private practice in Columbus. I didn't see the sun from November to April, and then made the decision that this cannot be my day in and day out life. So I chose the sunniest place I could find. And I had some connections to physicians in the Valley, and they loved this anesthesia group, Valley Anesthesia and Pain Consultants. It's an extraordinary group, and I joined on with them in 2008.
Wonderful. And then when did you start your own practice? Because you have integrated spine, pain, and wellness.
Yeah, so I felt like my philosophy and my approach to patients was very different from some of the bigger organizations out there, and I really believe in individualizing care and really connecting with people. Like, that's my forte, you know, having a true, authentic connection. And I feel once you do that, you can really find what people need. And so I was unable to provide that in my previous practice just due to the constraints of having to see several, more patients than I would like a day.
Right,
I just feel like you lose that human aspect of
Yeah.
that when you're just pushing patients through. So I chose to start my own practice, Integrated Spine Pain and Wellness.
Okay.
We opened in June 2022.
Yes.
2021. Yeah.
Yes, 21.
Yeah, and it's starting to become a thriving practice. I think people are finding that it's a different experience than other practices in the Valley.
Well, and if you didn't know, I am actually Dr. Goyle's wife. I'm Nicole Goyle, and he and I actually work together. I'm our medical esthetician, and we decided to do this together as a venture, and it's been fun, from the beginning until now. I mean, it's still brand new. But do you want to talk a little bit about your personal life and tell us a little bit about your hobbies? What you like to do when you're not seeing patients.
Sure, my passion is still music, so I try to go to as many concerts as I can. The pandemic has kind of put a kibosh on that, so. But I'm still playing guitar when I can. The practice is kind of all-consuming at the moment, but
Right.
it's a labor of love for sure. We have two beautiful puppies,
We
as you
do,
know, and those are our
yes.
babies,
Yeah.
and seriously, our pride and joy.
Da Vinci and Lucina.
Yes, if you're watching at home, hi guys.
We love you.
So, yeah, and traveling, traveling and experiencing new cultures and really seeing the world. That's another one of my passions.
Yeah.
And spending time with you and the puppies.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
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 Well, it was nice getting to know you today, and we hope you guys enjoyed, getting to know Dr. Goyle and getting a little bit of a glimpse into his personal life. Thanks.